Those damn righteous drivers are getting on my wick. Yep. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So this video is all about those damn righteous drivers out there. Those who just seem to make your life difficult, or they think that they are in the right, you know, all holier than thou. I've been riding around the last few days and just taking note of some of the antics that's been going on. And I've kind of noticed this over the last few years especially, and this is way before COVID started happening, but there is this kind of element of people just being hacked off these days. But you know, it's things like I've had cars that have actually the drivers drive their cars right at me to use them as weapons, as it were, you know, almost, you know, just veering off at the last minute. I've had you know, cars, if you're on narrow country lanes, let's say, the car's coming towards you, whether I'm on the bike or in the car, and they just stay in the middle of the lane as opposed to trying to yield over to one side. So you yield over one side and they yield over the other side, and you can pass each other quite comfortably. But oh no, they have to stay in the middle of the road because they don't want to get close to the grass verge or to the hedge, just in case, oh yeah, their car gets scratched or their bike gets scratched. Well, what about me? You know, why do I have to yield for you? Now, we all know about, you know, vehicles that pull out in front of you or pull across you, like happened to me a few weeks ago, and then drivers just kind of, well, yeah, whatever, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't see you, and all that kind of stuff. But they don't really mean it. They're not really that bothered, and it's almost sometimes that they're pointing the finger at you, saying, well, you know, you shouldn't have been going this way, or you shouldn't have been riding that fast, when you're not. You're just going the normal speed limit. I've had drivers who I'm trailing, okay, so all of a sudden it goes into a 60-mile-an-hour zone, and they suddenly drop their speed from 50, 60 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour right in front of me. They put their brakes on, and then they're sort of waving their arms as if to say, you know, get back and get you too close. And I just say, well, I was not close to you in the first place, but because you slammed your brakes on, I've actually got closer. And it's just like craziness. I've also noticed when there's queuing traffic and, you know, you try and filter around the outside a little bit, some drivers will go out of their way to come closer to the central line, to the white line here in the UK, just to give you no space at all, when they've got about a metre and a half on their side, the other side, which they could, you know, make way for you. You know, there's no kind of sharing the road sometimes. Even when you go past a car and you pull in to your side of the road, or to my side of the road, let's say, my side of the white line, they kind of make a big point of, you know, stopping and beeping their horn or flashing their lights. And they say, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm on my side of the road, what's your problem? Then you get cars behind them, drivers of cars, start being all brave and bold, you know, from within their car, let's say. And you're like going, what's the matter with you? You know, why aren't you just, you know, accepting that somebody's just coming on your side of the road? It's a bike, let's say. Well, if you just pull over to your side of the road, then you have no problem. It's weird that some drivers cannot even logic a situation. They cannot say, right, okay, there's a vehicle coming towards me, it's a little bit, you know, towards the middle of the road, let's say, I'm just going to veer over to my side of the road and just avoid it, as it were. But oh no, they have to make a big play of it, they have to make, you know, a big stance about it, and then sometimes they use their vehicle, as I say, and they head right towards you, as if to say, you know, oh, you can't come on my side of the road, or you can't get in my way. I've had cars, let's say, mostly cars, I've got to say, not trucks or vans, mostly cars. You're tracking a car to go for the overtake, so you're coming towards the middle of the road, okay, middle of the white line, let's say, in this country, and you know, so you're keeping your distance, you're tracking a vehicle, and there's a vehicle coming towards you that are actually on the left side of their lane, as it were, and they veer towards the right side of the lane, so they come right up to the central white line or yellow line, it depends which country you're in, and you have to move away from it just so you don't clip their wing mirror or something. You're like going, why you come all the way to the center of the road just to make me veer off course? It's just dangerous driving, selfish driving, and just you sometimes think, well, why are people riding around with cameras and things like that? But obviously I do it for YouTube and stuff, but most people are riding around with cameras these days because of that, to capture that on film, to say if something happens, at least they've got something to go by. And it's not just a bike thing. This happens while I'm driving my car as well. I see it all the time. Just drivers of cars just sticking to the left of their lane a little bit, or just moving over to the left of their lane. It's almost like they feel that they have to occupy their whole space, and they're going to try and occupy your space as well. They're never in the wrong. It's everybody else's fault. Everybody's getting angry in their cars. It's almost like, well, why don't you pull over and step out the car and let's see how big and brave you are there. But you can't do that now, can you? You're not allowed to do that, because all of a sudden people get really stupid and they can't even have a sensible conversation. These are the same people who have accidents or cause accidents, and they're the first ones to say, no, it wasn't my fault. No, I'm never going to admit anything. Yeah, call my solicitor, call my lawyer. Oh yeah, speak to my insurance. I'm not speaking to you. That kind of thing. Somewhere deep down inside, they know they're in the wrong, but they just won't admit it. It's almost like they're being conditioned to think, never admit anything. I'm just going to be a complete arse all the time. I cause an accident and I cause somebody to have an injury or cause somebody to die. Do you know what? Still not my fault. This is a kind of attitude you're dealing with, and unfortunately I've seen that time and time again over 20-25 years doing my job, as it were. It is just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you because I've noticed that more and more the last few days. And I say, I almost had a set to with a driver the other day who was just being big and brave from within his car, when it had nothing to do with him. And also, actually, I'd cleared his side of the road well in advance. So what is his problem? I do not know. Anyway, I'll leave that to you. Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share. And I'm going to get out on the road again, run the gauntlet. Ta-da.